And so scientists and engineers actually kill some of the momentum at track 7, and then it picks back up with 2 days and spaceship views and makes you wonder, why are scientists and engineers even part of this album?
Yeah, because of Andre's name and Future's too. Both.
Yeah,
Both.
because Andre and Future are on the record. Future is going to get you the numbers, and Andre is going to get you the respect and the critical acclaim and the nominations. And so the song appears to be more of a business play than an actual record that belongs on such a personal album. Because that's the thing about it. That song is the most impersonal song on the album, too, on a very personal, soul, gospel driven album.
And it stopped me a little bit when I listened to it the first time. Like I told you, because I recognize Andre's voice, but also it's very digital, right? I mean, it's got the synthesizer kind of stuff in it. Like it's not it doesn't have the same feel as the rest of it either.
How about this? He had to
And
switch.
it's engineers, so I mean, it's giving away the plot as you would in the title, but
It's like he took the soul out of that record to let Andre fit in on it, and it's not fair to the rest of the album or the other artists that made this album so soulful.
yeah,
You know, because that's what this album has over Magic 3, is it feels more soulful and more like a black culture piece than Magic 3 does.
it's of a place more too. Not that
Yeah.
not that Magic 3 is not of Nas's life and of New York City and so forth, but it's but like, even if I didn't know anything about Killer Mike at all, I mean, I knew he's from Atlanta, but like uh, when I listen to this, it's very, very clearly Atlanta, like very, very clearly.
Oh yeah. It's
Um,
very southern to me. It's not just Atlanta. It's just southern. It's sounds like a black man that's raised in a Baptist church.
yeah, exactly. That was exactly my reaction to it. Exactly.
Yeah.
Um,
But and even with that, it kind of like, and here's where the
it's
scope kind of
probably
broadens.
Dr. Loretta Scott King in the first verse, in the first song too. Like,
But he's also using quotes from, but he also has Farrakhan speaking on this album.
mm-hmm.
And
And
he
then
has
Sada Shakur and like, yeah, sure.
so it's like, so it's Southern Baptist driven, gospel driven, but it does have a scope to it that's beyond our southern borders. It's definitely an Atlanta album, just from, I mean, you got CeeLo, Young Thug, Jagged Edge, Future,
2
uh,
Chainz.
Andre 3000. The bonus record got Young Nutty, who's from the East Side, Fabo, who's from D4L. These are all Atlanta artists.
Yeah.
So the album is succinctly Atlanta, and it's beautiful in that way. But, and this is what I mean, picked the wrong Outcast member. Big Boy should have been on this album, not Andre.
I was thinking that as I was listening to it on the way home. My daughters and I went to the store to a morning and just kind of drove around to give their mom a break a little bit. And that was a thought that I had. It's like, this is not the right feature we have here. Um, it,
Does it
and I was sort of actually wondering where Big Boy was. Like, why wasn't he here?
like, how about this? I feel like if you take scientists and engineers off and replace Future and Andre with a Big Boy and Sleepy Brown combination with
That's
Killer Mike,
more in that. Yeah.
it's more in the vein of how this album is really supposed to flow. Um, and Something for the Junkies and Motherless aren't album fillers per se,
Mm-hmm.
but I would have preferred those records be broken up,
Okay.
because the depth of the things he's talking about, it does halt some of the ride and the vibe of the album.
Yeah.
I would have preferred that he moved Something for the Junk. Actually, I would have preferred that he moved Motherless up, like after Shed No Tears, but before Run.
Yeah.
You know,
Does
and
then
so
Chappelle's intro, like, yeah, that would have pulled it back into the, yeah.
right, pulled it back into the scheme of the album and the poignant manner in which he's speaking on this album. But he's saying some phenomenal stuff, and he's definitely Artist of the Year contender, Lyricist of the Year contender, Album of the Year contender. And so I don't want my critiques to come off like I'm not appreciative of Killer Mike as an artist and what he's done. I'm just still not so sure that it's Album of the Year, because when you take 3 years to make this album and you have so many guest appearances, and I'm having a conversation about Album of the Year with another album that I know took under 90 days to make,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Yeah. Our friend Il Magic said he gave the deluxe version of the Killer Mike album of the year, because tracks 15 to 18 are where the album picks back up. What do you feel about that? Because I haven't listened to the deluxe version. That's my my area of ignorance. So you're gonna have to give
Anybody
me.
that kind of anybody kind of follows according to hip hop kind of knows that I feel this way. I'm not into making deluxe album versions album of the year because one, especially in these days and times, like he's right, it gets better. Tracks 15 through 18 on the deluxe version,
Mhm.
but that's because he knew that he lost momentum towards the end of this album. And don't tell me that he didn't. Like, it's like you have to understand these guys are professionals, and so they go back and listen just like we do, and they know where the miscues are. You know what
Sure.
I'm saying? And he knew that he needed to put out a deluxe version about the album of the year stuff
Hmm.
because it does lose steam at the end. The entertainment value of it, like Peter Parks just said, Peter Parks just sent us a super chat. Shout out to Peter.
We appreciate you.